This is the 2016 version of Project Planning, and let's do an overview and explain what this application is supposed to do. This application, obviously by its name, does projects and does planning. And you have to assume that there are different things that are included in the project planning, and I'm going to cover some of those before we actually start doing the application and entering data. First of all, there is the data for the project itself. When you create a new project, there's a single screen, which is called a parent screen, and then several of these other screens that you see here are tied back to that project number that you initiate when you start this first screen entry. Their project team schedule is on that screen. There's a summary report. There's a data list of the actual projects in a list view. There's a portal for each one of the individual records that is in a portal so that you can have a way of finding different project information that's not available as far as searching for it on the project data main screen. Now, obviously there are vendors involved with this kind of business and projects. They could even be Home Depot, or they could be attending, if you're doing a special fabrication where this is a one-time manufacturer and you have to have manufacturers, then you're going to have to add vendors or do vendor selection as far as which vendors that you want to use. There may be many to help you, but you want to go through them and then hand pick which ones you want. The project specifications. This is these two pieces right here were not even available as far as technology not that many years ago. Basically, you're creating a project, you're putting your team together by members. Those members now get a budget each, and that's all rolled up into the report for all the budget for all the different individuals in the team. You can have people that may be servicing the contract, or operations people that are doing the actual design and building and putting the specifications together. Now, the specifications is one area I feel is really, really important, because there was not a good tool until project planning came out a few years back, where you could take and track the project specifications that are being built by the individual specification. You can have vendor meetings and information that are related to those specifications to build the specification to the point where you want it. Well, what you're doing is you're documenting not only the specifications from the top down for the main item that you're building, and then the sub-specs for those items that are added at the lower level, but you're also building this toward a full parts tree, and that's going to be covered down in the next section. But basically what you're doing is you should be able to take a project, build the whole project, and have all the data that you can fall back on and look at to build boilerplate for the next project that's similar to it. And if you repeat the design on certain things with modifications, like one of these applications was built for a guy that did yachts. And the yachts, for example, they had large windows in the back going in through a door, and that door had different types of steel fabrication on the outside of it. It might be chrome, or it might be brass, or it may be something else even painted. So as you build a specification, those are the kind of things that are going to surface and need to be decided on. And that's what this project specification area is supposed to do. The next thing is you're going to actually be buying materials and stuff like that. So you need a vendor selection tool and a vendor budget that's created for each budget for the items that that particular vendor is going to provide. Then a deliverable table to show the items and when they're supposed to be in, and if they were in on time and on budget. Get budget and on time over here. Now we get down to the project drawings. We've done the specifications. Now for each specification, there's a number of drawings that do the exact things that the specifications tell them to do. And you're supposed to design and build around that. So drawings are designed in this application as though they're a drawing tree, meaning you have the top level item, then it may go down to several major assemblies, then sub-assemblies, all the way down to the individual part data. That's a part of this thing. Now, because the project drawings can be modified and or changed as far as budgeting, you have all that information in this application the next time you go to do something. Like I was talking about the chrome door versus a brass door. You could just change that in the drawing tree, make some modifications, and reprint the entire project, and it should generate a new budget level for those parts. Plus, you can go back and look at the team and see what the team did. Were they on budget or over budget? Or were there issues where there was actually things that, when they're specified, didn't meet the goals of the project and they had to be modified, adding extra cost to the entire project. There's also a drawing table that shows all the drawings that are involved with this particular project. And then there's a drawing tree where it breaks it down by the assemblies, sub-assemblies, and the main items. Then there's a parts data. Now you can go in and you can take, for example, you have a sub-assembly you're buying as a package from a vendor. You can do a parts data tree, or you can take any mechanism or part that's in this thing you're building and have a separate breakdown of that individual part with a narrative that explains how it is actually designed and what it's supposed to do. And that should be also covered in the specification for that information. So this is an overview to start you, and the last one is actually a report for the drawing tree itself that generates a report based on the costs related to the actual breakdown of the items in that particular drawing package. We're going to come back after this overview and we're going to go over and start doing the project data and work our way down through all these screens until you have an absolutely watertight understanding. But if you are having difficulty, we expect that what you can do, and we'll get to that on the next screen, there's a support button that you can click on that will take you to the developer's website. And from there, you can go ahead and ask questions on a chat, or you can send email and get questions answered and then email back. Okay, thank you for taking this first overview of this particular project planning application. Thank you.